we got the first thing done for the day for sure, right? We woke up. So let the celebration begin with that moment of awareness when one shifts from a sleep stage into being more alert, more alive, more aware. Being in a meditative state, focus, is our goal, is a preliminary goal. It's a means to an end, but it's not the end. It's a tool. Mindfulness is more in line with a goal, that you be mindful for all the days of your life, that you create good fortune for yourself, for those around you, that you live your life with increasing awareness and positivity, with kindness and generosity, compassion, empathy, compromise, objectivity, many things, many goals, many little seeds that one can be planting in their hearts and souls every day, all the time, to acquire, to accumulate enough that you are these qualities, that these are the thoughts that rise in your awareness when you are thinking. Practice is our way of utilizing our tools, becoming familiar with, creating habits, creating rituals to accommodate ourselves. On some levels, we realize that the world is constantly changing, maybe more, depending on one's perspective, or less. So we insulate ourselves as individuals, as a species, of what's actually going on, what we choose to focus upon. In societies, civilizations, religions, cultures, help internalize even more differentiations in this structure that's being created for mankind to find a comfortable way of living with all that's going on inside and outside of ourselves. Being aware of one's own physicality, one's own shimmering ecstasy, if you like. Being aware that you are breathing, that you are exuding a certain amount of warmth. Being aware that we are listening to these words as they are spoken, as they reach our eardrums, vibrating them, and ending in our mind as symbols, communicated through language, is one miracle after another. Everything is a miracle of creation. A blade of grass, a molecule of air or water, or anything for that matter. We consider and reflect that in the beginning, as so many like to say, this energy that creation is of was without form, without matter. It was energy. And over 14.5 billion years of evolution, of changes occurring all the time. Now we have what we have 14.5 billion years later. All these things, the taste in your mouth, the sounds in your ears, the colors, the textures, the shadows, everything that you might perceive through your vision, everything that we feel, our hair, the outside of ourselves, the suns, the winds, the clouds. We don't think about where the air came from 2 weeks ago, if it was in Spain or California or in Colombia or in the far reaches of Canada. We breathe. We don't even think of the process of breathing. But that's all changing now because we have accumulated enough wisdom. We have enough history that's been recorded that we have induced the spontaneous combustion of the Aquarian age. It's not like someone unfurled a scroll and said, "It's begun." But many people have written words of wisdom, all kinds of words, and communicated for the last 5,000-10,000 years. This is the harbingers of where we are today, the dawning of the Aquarian age. It is a great thing for mankind, for our world, because we're going to keep improving what we do. I know things are not easy, but it can easily be changed. We have enough accumulated wisdom to be more wise and purposeful in what we hope to gain by our actions, and by a sense of responsibility that the United Nations can furnish and should be, although obviously not at this point in time. But individually, we move ahead. And we're here today, having woken this morning, already ahead of the game, being organized and structured for helping oneself improve. If you have misfortune you need to overcome, then quantify it, objectify it, being a witness about it, and seeing what can be done, doing what you need to do. And you have aspirations and goals for your own sense of positivity, working on those. Just in being aware of what you need to do is accomplishing a great deal. We need to be kind to ourselves. We have been raised in a very judgmental world, society, civilization. There is a great deal of conflict that needs to be resolved, that needs resolution, compromise, understanding, communication. Hello? Being aware. Meditation is a tool, in this case, utilizing one's own physical structure. that which all of man shares. Acknowledging to yourself your physicality, your breathing, that your heart is squeezing and blood is pulsing through arteries and veins. Allow this to be true. It is the truth, but I'm asking you to allow it in your soul. Allow it with a sense of contemplation of what you actually are. I know you are a voice. I know you are a mind. And I know that you are a physical body. You need to acknowledge this to oneself deeply in your heart and soul. It is like planting seeds of encouragement, affirmations to oneself. You need allow and accept whom you, what you, how you, where you, when you, what you, why you are. Maybe a couple of doubles in there. This is what you need to do, in my opinion, because you want to make an inquiry into your own being. What is? You need to question everything. You have resources today, most of us, or many of us, where we can use the internet to check on things, checking, defining, understanding, practicing, widening one's perspective. This is the discipline, is to keep being curious enough and aspiring enough that you keep propelling yourself to know more, to understand better, and to be kind and gentle, respectful, as much as you can, and realizing, even with your very best efforts, you are falling short of what you can do. You just need to keep practicing to improve. So simultaneously being aware of one's breathing, one's pulsing, and the shimmering majesty of realizing this incredible bounty that we have, that we call ourselves. And considering the size and the scope of our environment, this universe that we are part of, is humbling, causing a sense of reverence that's rising with our contemplation and experience. There is a vastness and an immensity that we are part of. It is what it is. Accepting it in your heart and soul. Think about it, is what I'm saying. Deeply. Not casually. Deeply. In these 5 W's and 1 H. And with all of these considerations, regardless of if you've even begun to be thankful that we can even consider such a thing, that we have an opportunity in every day of 86,400 moments of possibilities. Okay? Get playing. Namaste.